But
No, that's
congratulations,
crazy.
man. Yeah, you are on a very interesting journey, aren't you?
Thank you. Yeah, it is quite very interesting one.
Mhm.
One thing about this is that I never knew that it would come to this point.
Mhm.
But I've always known that this is what I want. So it's great that things are happening.
Now, obviously, people would have seen you on television, but they wouldn't necessarily know, the backstory. You know, tell us about kind of your humble beginnings before you got to the point of either being pushed or deciding to enter the competition, of your own volition. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, your upbringing, that kind of stuff. Just top line.
Yeah, I come from a small town called Utrecht. Come from a big family. I have four siblings. I have four
Mm-hmm.
siblings and many family members. And
Sure.
most of the time, we all live together. We all lived in my grandmother's house
Mm-hmm.
and grew up in a church. We loved church. My grandfather was a priest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, my family loved music. Started singing at a very, very young age.
How do you
We
know?
started in choirs. Sorry, how old am I now?
Yeah.
I'm 22.
Wow. Okay.
I'm 22.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. No, it's
Yeah.
great. It's a good age. I forget.
Yeah, it is. It is a good age. It is a good age.
Sorry, I
I'm
didn't
very
mean
happy to be
to.
22.
Yeah. Cool, cool.
No, so yeah, I've been singing all my life.
Okay. And when was the decision to enter this competition that obviously has, it's got an extraordinary reputation, good and bad? And what I mean by bad is, even I think certainly from my perspective, the most successful idols are not necessarily the ones who won. Um, it seems to me that
Yeah,
the vast majority are the ones that kind of come into like you know, the finalists. And I don't know quite why that is. But it's just an interesting, and it's a global thing. I mean, it's in the States and in the UK. The guys who kind of come second and third and fourth kind of thing are the ones that, certainly from my perspective, shine through, certainly when it comes to establishing a career for themselves. So how was that
yeah.
experience for you?
It was great. It was great. I think I went there at a very young age, and there was a lot that I needed to learn in order for me to come to this point in my life where I'm firm in my talent to know what I want. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very sure about who I am. I had a lot to discover about myself back then, and I'm glad that I did not win because also I was very young. I don't know how I would have handled it.
Yeah,
We've
true,
handled all that. So I
true.
think top five was great.
Hmm.
Went home and went back to school. I had to finish my trick,
Yeah.
and it's just like, yeah, I just decided, you know what, music is what I want to do. I started studying at varsity
Mm-hmm.
college. I started studying education.
Okay.
And yeah, it was
Good for
like
you.
literally like because I always wanted to be a teacher. At some point in my life, I was like, I want to be a teacher, but
Mm-hmm.
then there's another thing. There's another thing which is music, which is like overpowering this passion of
Mm.
teaching. But and then I just had to drop out,
Well, you know what they say,
decided to go
Lloyiso.
into
There's a
what do
very
they say?
there's a famous saying that, and I can't remember who actually said it, but it's I've referenced it throughout my life. Is that basically you don't choose music, music chooses you.
Yeah, that's true. Music definitely chose me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just had to kind of do it. That's why I'm here. I'm here today, man. I just had to work hard.
And did your family support your decision?
Yeah, obviously, not entirely because my parents wanted me to get an education. and go to school and kind of have a solid plan, because music, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
You don't.
You never know, your career might blow up. Next thing, nothing is happening in your life. So they really wanted me to get an education, but when they realized that this is really what I'm gonna do and there's no plan B, there was always a argument about, so are you gonna have a plan B? You're gonna have a plan B? And I was like, nah, this is my plan A, and there's nothing else I can do about it right now. This is gonna be my life.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna focus on this plan A. Then there's no way it's not gonna work out.
Yeah. And who are the people, or artists, creatives that have inspired you, like mentors, heroes, that kind of thing, people who have helped pave your path, both in choosing what style of music you want to sing, and who you would ideally like to emulate, I suppose, in some way.
Yeah, I think my love for pop music and just music in general comes from my sister used to buy a lot of CDs of Jennifer Hudson and listening to Jordan Sparks and Beyonce. So I grew up listening to her CDs all the time. And I used to memorize all the words, and I found myself doing this thing every day of singing these songs. And I think one of the people that really made me love music and fall in love with the emotions and fall in love with vulnerability through music was Sam Smith. And when he came out with the album The Lonely Hour, and I used to play that song the album every single day, because I feel like it took out something inside of me that other music didn't.
And
it really paved the way in the way that I convey my message, and the way that I tell my message. That's like one person that I really truly inspired me.
And tell us a little about how you got to the steps of Universal Music.
It's by being consistent and just being consistent on social media, posting a lot of content, posting a lot of. I think a lot of people were really touched by the way I was singing. And I was in my room and I just started creating content, and they saw my content going viral. One of my videos hit like 8 million views on TikTok. Yeah, on TikTok, and it was just like, oh my gosh, who's this guy? And I started getting a lot of emails. Dude, we want to sign you, want to talk to you, want to And at that time, I was signed to Ambitious Entertainment, and Universal had a relationship with Ambitious Entertainment, so it was kind of easy for them to talk to them and negotiate something. So then I got signed to Republic Records and Universal. So yeah.
And what's the structure of the deal? Because there's that certainly for quite a while, the major labels have been getting not necessarily flack, but that 20 years ago you couldn't really launch your own career on your own, just because it was eye-wateringly expensive to do and prohibitive in so many other ways, whereas obviously now there's so many artists who are literally staying in their bedroom and making music that way. What made you decide you wanted to sign to a major label?
I think it's the network that these major labels have, and the knowledge they have of music that I certainly don't have time to be looking into, because I wanna also focus on bettering my craft, and that's music, and that's my core of my business. And I feel like when I start looking at other things, my business otherwise, then it just becomes a drag, because I want to focus on the music and I want everyone else to focus on everything around me. And it's always better to work with people, because there's things that I might not see that they might see, and there's creating a brand. And there's aspects in the music that they might find that are working or not working. And obviously Universal and Republic Records are successful record labels. I mean, they have they have the biggest names: The Weeknd, Drake, Ariana Grande.
One or
And I
two,
want to be,
yeah. One or two.
yeah,
You're in good company. I
and
mean, who knows? Maybe
yeah,
they'll get you a gig with Ariana, or Post Malone or someone
of
like
course.
that.
Definitely. That's
Yeah.
definitely going to happen. And I'm just
Yeah.
really excited for those moments.
Well, I mean, let's talk about, who you'd love to collaborate with. If anyone, I mean, is there anyone in your kind of immediate, on your radar that would be, probably more likely to happen, locally, I suppose. But, a lot of South African artists have had, success with working with people like Ed Sheeran and the like. But, where are you aiming from a collaborative point of view, should that opportunity show itself?
I think one person that I would really love to collaborate with, and I think if I would make a song, or when I make a song with this person, it's going to change the world. It's Adele. I think both of us have incredibly emotional approaches to music. So I think once we get together and we create something, I think it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
So are you writing your own songs, or are you working through a songbook?
I'm definitely writing my own songs as well as working with other songwriters, collaborating as well, and yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Okay, and what's the plan? Is it more a single strategy at this stage, just to drop singles and then?
Yeah, it is a single strategy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not planning on releasing an album anytime soon. It's kind of like I'm also establishing my sound, establishing my brand, kind of who Lloyiso is. And finding myself.
How would you describe your sound?
Emotive, inspiring, definitely a reflection of myself, and always motivating other people to be their best selves.
And you've done a good, you've done a great job so far in kind of establishing an identity for yourself, using the power of social media, I think in a very effective way, and understanding, the power of it all. And it's a space that you need to respect, if you're going to, get the kind of attention that you've gotten. And that obviously, what people are enjoying about what you're doing is that there's a level of authenticity that's reflected in the work that they're hearing, and and just in your approach. You come across as somebody who hasn't drunk all the Kool-Aid yet, and and hopefully you never will, because it is difficult to stay grounded, when you've got 12 million people liking you on TikTok, so it's a fraught space. But I suppose the question is, who do you turn to keep you grounded and motivated?
Definitely my family and friends. I think everyone that surrounds me is just absolutely incredible, and I think they understand me, and they will always see something that if there's something off, and they'll be like, "Hey, dude, come back to earth."
Keep your feet on the ground.
I just like that. Yeah, and I like that. I like having those people in my life, those genuine people that really truly know me. Truly understand me.
Yeah, you will come across a lot of people who will look to bleed you dry. So I think it's important to keep your people close, because they will keep you safe. And it must be a great place for you to be, I suppose, not to kind of go to your family and say, "I told you so." I told you I would do this. It must have been lovely, and I can only imagine that they're extremely proud of you.
Definitely. I think I got a call from mom the other day. She's like, "Dude, like, I never understood this thing of not having a plan B, and you really showed me that if I'm busy focusing on other things, and I need to put my head on one thing, and I'll achieve it." I was like, "Yeah, that's the lesson you're learning from me, my Look at you now, you're learning lessons from me. So I think she also learned something from the whole thing of me having these arguments about her with her and telling her that, listen, this is what I want to do and there's no turning back for me.
So 2022 looks to be an exciting time. I think it's fortunate, I suppose, in many ways, that what's happening to you now on the back, hopefully, of the last 2 years. I think there are a lot of artists whose careers were just about to take off when the pandemic hit, and a lot of them have been lost along the way. Whereas you're in an interesting space now where people are so keen to get out and get back to live events and get back to that kind of reality. I mean, obviously, that, as much as recording is one aspect, the live thing for you, and having cut your teeth, at the Idols boot camp, you're kind of ready and fit, and trained.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm ready. I'm excited. As long as I'm gonna try my best to take care of my voice, because I think there's a lot of performances that I'll be doing. So I'm really excited that now everything is looking brighter, and the pandemic is kind of coming down. And we'll be traveling to the States and all of that. So it's gonna be exciting.
Oh, that's very, very cool. When's that going to happen?
Between the end of this year and next year.
Oh, very, very good. I mean, that must be something where you kind of go, okay, you kind of pinch yourself and go, okay, this is really happening. But have you got any kind of expectation of what to expect when you get to the other side?
No, actually, I don't know. I'll see when I'm there. I think also, I feel like I'm gonna be so homesick. But I'm definitely gonna indulge in the cultures. It's gonna be different, very different experience for me. Meeting new people and coming from South Africa at the bottom of the earth too.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting to meet new people and to make music with amazing musicians.
Is that the intention?
Yeah.
So the intention is to go there to record.
Yeah, I think the intention is to just make music.
Okay.
Make music. That's the core of it.
Very good. Well, again, maybe you'll get your wish. I mean, I think by that point, Adele will be on tour, touring her.
Yeah, she'll be doing her thing.
I mean, if anything, perhaps you get to see her live.
Yo, that would be amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
And just one last question before I let you go. It was quite funny when I got this brief. I thought I was speaking to one of the Bala brothers. Not to say that I didn't know you, but obviously that must be trying to tell people, yes, there is more than one Lloyiso, in South Africa. It's quite a common name, but not many in music.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just been a whole thing, because even on Spotify and Apple Music, they confuse me with the Lloyiso. So that's how my name is spelled with a double L, not just Lloyiso, the way that it's normally spelled.
That's why you got 12 million views on TikTok. That's actually what.
That's why. But people are just people just be confusing us, but now I'm glad
that's cool.
Differentiate.
I'm joking, but I think he's got into the world of business, I think, for the most part anyway. So I think you're safe. But who knows? Maybe you guys, just for fun, you'd land up doing a duet together at some point, just to
maybe
for all.
Yeah, that would be a lot more confusion. But that would be great.
No, excellent. But listen, thanks for your time and all the very, very best. I don't think you need me to wish you well, because I know the very good people at Universal. I've had the good fortune of working with the likes of Kevin, and with Rashika on the PR side.
No, they're amazing. They're amazing.
good people. Yeah, they're very passionate. And to your point, Kevin used to be my PRO when he and I both worked at EMI 100 years ago. And he's worked
100 years ago.
Yeah, he's worked his way, right up to the point that he has, because he's got this wealth of knowledge. And what that means is that, the mistakes that he's seen made in the past, he can keep you from and really fast track, your journey in a way that very few people can. So no, you are certainly in the best company, that if the world is going to embrace you in the way that they clearly are, they will keep you safe. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, awesome. But listen, thanks again, and
Awesome.
have a good rest of day and rest of week, and pace yourself, because shit's about to get real.
Shit's about to go down. Thanks, Jason. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, mate. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.